the intro because it doesn't say we're live just yet, or does it? I don't know. I'm always bad at this. Anyway, hello, my name's Rob. This is Cat Rabbit Scale Model Studios. I'm with the ever lovely Josh from Free Spies Gaming Group.
Hello.
We're going to be keeping you company for an hour or so tonight. Hello. Could be keeping you company for there we go. Hey, there we go. Right, let's turn the sound off on that just so I can have the chat up, and we'll take it from there. So, Josh, how are you this week?
I am very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. Once again, I know I've just asked, but can you tell everyone what you've been working on today, or what you're going to be working on, or what you do?
I am working on the Skies of Fire Aeronautica Imperialis. That's such a mouthful. Yeah, that is.
Aeronautica Imperialis.
Flying space marine ship.
That's it. I got to admit, I would like to grab one of the little Thunderhawk gunships, the little tiny ones, just to paint up, as I think it'd be quite a cool little project. Think a little bit different. How would you feel about Games Workshop or someone like that producing kits that are more along the line of, let's say, Airfix for some of their more iconic, like, models?
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but would I buy one? Probably not. It's
like if they were really highly detailed kits that just, really replicated like a Thunderhawk on a smaller scale. Would that be something you'd be interested in? I think I'd buy into that. Sounds quite interesting.
I don't think so, because I'm more of a gamer than a collector. So
what happens if they were useful in the game? Would that sway you? Would that be the deal breaker?
Yeah, again, it depends what I'm using, and you know what I mean. So I wouldn't personally go and buy one for the sake of buying one, but
yeah, it wouldn't be like something that you'd go, oh, do you know what? I really love, let's say, I don't know, like a Thunderhawk.
Yeah,
I would want to go and have this kit displayed in quite a high,
Yeah,
that's nothing you would be interested in, unless it could be used in a game.
Yeah, I mean, if I won the lottery or something, I'll probably get some commissioned or something. But just for like display.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Have a Thunderhawk, hanging off your ceiling.
Yeah, very much so.
That's pretty cool. But
I do wish they would do stuff like that. I know they did that Inquisitor game that had bigger scaled miniatures, which was supposed to be a little bit more highly detailed. Obviously, it's a bit before my time, but I always thought that sounded quite cool.
I can't remember that. I have to say,
I think it was a while ago, but see, don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. So, yeah. So I'm going to be finished off this Dark Angels Ancient. Well, I hope I'm going to get him finished on this stream. I've got his backpack to highlight, which shouldn't take long. I've got his little head to do, and I've got some bits down here just drying. I need to do side packs and saddlebags, but I really, really like how this guy's turning out.
Yeah,
I think he's quite cool. I've also got his little rock, and I still got to do the base. So I'm hoping. I've been really busy lately, especially at work. See how things. I've found very little time to be at my desk and dedicate. Like I was sitting and I was like, man, like I've got my Dark Angels in front of me. I was like, wow, I painted quite a bit last month. And this month so far, I've painted 2 things: the lion and now this guy. It's awful. So it just goes to show you that sometimes it's just not able to paint. And all I do is I keep like sitting there thinking, I just want to, be at my desk and.
Yeah, I suppose that's life, isn't it? Sometimes
it gets in the way. What an inconvenience.
Yeah.
But there we go. So this week, what or should we say last week? Josh, did you get Tears of the Kingdom?
I did. I still haven't played it.
What? Wow.
I actually wanted, so I didn't have to pay anything for it. But I haven't played it yet. Actually, it's
that's I popped it on the Friday when it came out, and I was like, do you know what? Do I even have time for an open world game? Can I commit to it? And I'm hooked.
Is it good?
The Nintendo Switch is in the bedroom. I lay on the bed and I'm just like, right, let's just go over here. It's that same familiar Hyrule. I spent a lot of time on Breath of the Wild, and I mean a lot of time.
Okay.
It was very much like seeing an old friend with a new haircut is the way of describing it. But yeah, really, really enjoying it. I love Zelda. I have since Ocarina on the N64. So it will always have a bit of a special place in my heart. However,
yeah, I mean, I do like Zelda games. I'm not like a massive fan. You know, I mean, I've only go because I won every kind of thing, but in a giveaway. But but I will get around playing it.
I think it's definitely worth a whirl. I once again, I mean, I know it's an old engine; they haven't really done too much to it, but I still think it is an absolutely stunningly beautiful game.
Yeah,
it really is. It's something else. I very much think it's visually very impressive.
No, I will get around to playing it eventually. But...
Definitely give it a whirl. I would highly recommend it. So, yeah. What do we think about the 10th edition leaks?
Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with them. So I've seen the one, but someone had a sort of boner in the car.
Yeah, the shadow boner, amazing.
Yeah.
That creeping across the page, fantastic.
Apart from that, I'm trying not to read into it too much because I think it ruins the sort of, you know, if you know everything before it comes out, then is it much of a surprise when it is released?
Yeah, I mean, they're just rules. However, like, the rules were going to be free anyway, apparently. So, I mean, aside from interrupting with some community articles that they probably had planned, is this too much bother for Games Workshop? I would probably say no.
I mean, the rules I've seen have been explained very well, I think, compared to like the old editions.
See, I personally haven't bothered looking at them. I know of the leaks, but I haven't read.
I've dipped in and out, but I haven't like I know the Nike one came out today. But,
no, not those. The actual rulebook leak.
Oh no! I haven't seen anything apart from that one photo.
Yes, I was going to say that's exactly. Everyone says that the rules have leaked, but I haven't actually seen the leaks. Like anywhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like nothing that I can click on and start to look through myself.
Yeah, I'm just going to wait till it comes out. I'll be honest and go from there.
I do hope it's kept simple, as they said.
The rules I've seen, like the abilities and that, it tells you when to use them and like and they do seem to be explained a lot better. So I'm hopeful, but
for 10th.
Yeah, I mean it can't be worse than 9th anyway. So
yeah, I mean they say the only thing from the bottom is up, so I guess that's where they're kind of looking at.
Yeah.
9th was just a shambles from start to finish. I mean, I'm not a big player, but it's definitely something that very much deterred me from.
I mean, I've been playing since about 4th edition, I think, maybe 4th. Yeah, and I have to say, 9th is the least enjoyable one I've ever played.
Wow, that's some title it's earned there.
But that is just my opinion on it. You know what I mean? So
no, absolutely, yes.
Some people might absolutely love 9th, so it's.
I'm sure there will people that will still, absolutely love it. That will just pick it up like ducks to water.
Yeah.
However, I always look at every edition as a new edition, as it isn't how accessible it is, and I just found 9th was just. Whew.
Yeah. No, totally agree. It's like running a club now, try and get people in the 9th's been a lot harder than previous editions.
Yeah.
You know, it's so I'm hoping 10th edition will be easy. I mean, apart from the basic, you know, move, shoot, charge.
Yeah, which you really can't really change that. It's going to be
no. Because a lot of people was asking for alternative activations, but it won't work in 40k. Really, I don't think.
It's. I think that's how they do the boarding actions. If you've played boarding actions.
Okay,
I think that's alternated. It's very much kill team.
But I say that is more squad, so isn't it, rather than
yes,
you know, big massive armies.
So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm skeptical. I take everything that GW does. I do a pinch of salt because they always seem to do something very good in a very GW way. So it's always that kind of But no, I'm quite looking forward to 10th. What about Leviathan? Are you going to be picking up Leviathan?
I will for the club. Mainly because obviously it's going to have to do rules and models. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
But I wouldn't be picking up it personally for myself.
See, at first I was astounded. I was kind of like, yeah, I'll get that. But the more I look at it, the more I think, do I need it?
Yeah.
Like, I would I use the Tyranids? I might paint a couple up. But other than that, would I do a Tyranid army? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting it for club. I mean, I haven't got use for Tyranids at the moment. But we're just going to we'll build them up and we'll use them as sort of a club second army, but getting around painting them probably won't be until a while, really.
See, that's the thing. I think, and I think this is where like FOMO does take it. Yeah, it's a great box set. Yeah, you're probably gonna, save, and there'll probably be units in there that we'll have to get Leviathan for. Like we had it with the 9th, the Judiciar, you still can't get on its own. The Blade Guard Captain and Lieutenant, you can't get on his own. You have to buy him in the box sets, which I think is a bit lousy, if I'm honest with you. My beloved 8th edition Gravis Captain, I love that model. I've painted 4 of those. It's the single most model that I probably painted, like model HQ that I've painted the most, and I'm gutted it was never done separate. I like the new Gravis Captain, don't get me wrong, but the old Gravis Captain is just stunning.
I mean, if it wasn't for the club, I probably wouldn't all just hold up and pick the rule book up separately, and but I think for club, it'll be quite good if we could get a box and let people look through it and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, one thing I'm keen to see is when GW do their start sets. Like here, we had it was Recruit, Command, and Elite Edition.
Yeah,
they're very much geared towards new players, and they actually do these sets really, really well because it tells you like just to build a couple of models on both sides, and then this is how you move and shoot, and it teaches you the basics. Then the next mission will be like, now build these guys, and we're going to do almost like a theme scenario with this.
Yeah,
and it's really, really good at easing you in. I thought, for as complicated as 9th was, how it set their starter sets up for new players was really good.
Yes, no, I can't knock them sets at all. It's they've been really good sets to you get people playing, but and that's great learning the basics. But then it's when you want to try and play a bit more people advanced with who know all the rules and that.
That's always the thing, isn't it? Almost like separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
The problem is I like being a little disgusting boy. It's my favorite. So it's just like, it is. I don't know. I have my concerns, but I am optimistic. I would say if I was on a scale, I'm 75% optimistic for 10th. So
no, I mean I'm kind of looking forward to it, see how it plays, and obviously it's going to be new hype of the club, so I sort of have to get
with it.
Yeah, with a
yeah, I suppose it's, if people want to play. I mean, it's always going to be a wildly popular game. That was never going to be disputed. It's just whether it cuts the mustard. In the long run, if you will. So there we go. And you have been painting some Alpha Legion up lately as well, haven't you?
I have, yes.
And how are they coming along? I got to admit, I do very much.
They're all right. Yeah, I've just got to finish the bases really, and I'm pretty much done on them.
Yeah,
that's my last unit done.
Nice.
For troops wise, few more units to paint up. But
any more plans to add any more units at all?
I might get back to Terminators, go Terminator Lord, but
yeah,
it's not like I'm gonna go out and buy it tomorrow kind of thing.
It'll be if and when.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I got to admit, I do really, really like the Chaos Terminators.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I did something called my World Eaters, and I think they're quite nice kits actually.
One playing done.
Lots of options and stuff like that. So, oh no, yeah. I need to glue his little head onto something. I had a bit of plastic here a minute ago. Did anybody see what I did with that? If you're in
no idea.
I had a bit of plastic in my hand. What did I do? Oh, jeez. Right, it's not there. Oh, there it is. Hello. There we go. Organised as per usual.
So your armor painter stuff arrived?
Yes. So for those that don't know, I've been speaking to the army painter for 5 months. Long time. And I generally thought any form of working with them was kind of dead in the water. Obviously, you can understand they they've probably got a lot of people reaching out to them going, any chance we can get this, blah, blah, blah. So I thought it would completely just... But I had a call from Adam from the Army Painter. We had a bit of a voice chat, which was really, really good, actually. And I got sent some stuff. I'm not ready to kind of go through it all yet of what I got. That will be coming. But I guess I wanted to do my thoughts on speed paint. And also I wanted to kind of highlight some issues that people may have had. Sorry, Arnold, good afternoon. Do hope you are well. Yes, lovely to see you again. Thanks for stopping in. But I don't watch a lot of hobby content on YouTube. I tend to watch gaming stuff. Like I always watch gaming content, long plays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Speed runs, big GDQ. I've always got a GDQ on in the background somewhere. So I kind of had to sit down the other day and start to go through speed paint videos.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that I can really highlight, and it's the same for 1.0, and it's the same for 2.0, really, is that this is a one-coat paint system.
Yeah.
Okay. So when people start putting layers on top of it and top of it and top of it, and then going, oh, but hang on a minute, it don't work properly. It's the equivalent of me driving a car into a river and then complaining it's a shit boat.
Yeah.
Like, it's no different. You're trying to blame a product for not doing what you want when it doesn't work that way.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think with Army Painter, people picked up on a reactivation issue because people were putting layers over something that shouldn't have had layers over it.
Yeah.
So then people thought, well, they just made a bad product. And what's better, especially on YouTube, than saying, oh my god, this is crap, and I'm going to tell you why. Instantly, you want to know why. It's human nature. We're fucking nosy people, and you do. So I think a lot of people have leaned into that, and they've almost got in their mindset that they're not going to like something already because another artist doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And they're just going to really duplicate or try and replicate an issue, as opposed to finding out either uses for it or using it really in its proper capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.0 is really good, especially if you put a little bit of medium between it and agitate it into it. You can get some really lovely blends. I've got the mega set next to me, the 2.0 mega set. I've opened it up. I actually went through with my eldest daughter. She loves when things arrive. It's like Christmas for her. So I was like, look, come here, let's have a look at this. And we got it all out, and we were looking at all the colours and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Really, really nice set. You get some brushes in there, some nice Army Painter brushes. I haven't used them yet, but I will. Very nice.
No.
So, I'm looking forward to getting into it, but I need to do a video. And the problem is that because I don't really do videos, because I don't just want to highlight the product, I also want to highlight where I think people have come from an angle to almost like shit on a product.
Yeah.
So we'll take it from there. I use Army Painter stuff. I use a lot of, these are my go-to paints. I've always got them out. I like Army Painter war paints. I think they're good paints. The flat matte black, rapidly becoming my favorite black to use. It's just like Corvus black. It's got like a bit of a smoky color, but dries nice and flat, which I can appreciate. And I don't know. I think people have now fallen into that kind of system of, well, let's hate on the Army Paint. Let's find a fault with the product.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit, I guess, disingenuous for my liking.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, I've got a couple of the 1.0 speed paints, and I absolutely love them. I mean, for me, they are the best contrast paints I've used. Citadel has some, like the yellow and black, I think are better in the Citadel range, but
yeah,
all the others, seem so much better. And I do enjoy using them, I have to say.
I think one of the things I've always been keen to highlight is how well products work with other products.
Yeah.
Like I'm in no sense a purist. Like I do a lot of I use a lot of Citadel in my painting videos, just purely because Citadel is the paint system I've always used.
Yeah.
My local GW's 10 minutes up the road. It's easier for me to go and get paints if I need them.
Yeah, and that's
fair enough, I like when paints work with other paints. I guess the problem you're always going to have is, like, I've got 2 racks of Citadel paints, like just over here. I've got a whole rack of washes. I've got 3 drawers of base, layers, metallic paints, like, down here to my left.
Yeah.
So someone releases a brand new paint range.
Yeah.
But you're never going to now. I mean, there must be 500 quid's worth of paints here.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm going to watch something and go, you're right, I'm going to ditch all these and go over to that. You're not. So for someone who's already got an established collection of paints, I'm not looking to replace paints. I'm looking at adding to them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they forget that you can just pick and choose. You don't have to get all the colours. You don't have to get all the...
Yeah.
And I think a little bit gets almost like lost in translation, if you will. And I think people get a little bit almost carried away.
Yeah. It's like when Duncan released his paints, wasn't it? Everyone jumped on a bandwagon and, brought all his paints in one go. And it's like, what about all your other paints?
Yeah, like, are you seriously considering going, right, well, that's it for all my other paints. It's time to bin those and get onto these. No, you're not. That's not what's going to happen. But I think a lot of people, they look at it as, is this the next best paint? will it replace my existing,
Yeah.
paints? And the answer is, well, if you step back and actually look, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But then it's also not trying to either.
No, I think you have to use them, like you said, add to your paints rather than just get a whole brand new system.
Yes, because really, you've got people like myself who already have established paint ranges that I use, and then you've got a brand new player that maybe doesn't like paint, or you've got an existing person that really doesn't like painting.
Yeah.
So I say that, or just wants to get things done.
Yeah. Like me.
So like speed paints are a really good recommendation for you.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you just put this on, job done, and you're like, right, fine, brilliant.
Yeah.
For someone like me, I'm never going to replace a range, but also at the same time, I would always look at a good paint that I can add into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't look at a whole range, but I would maybe look at like odd colours that I hear good things about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's a bit of an odd one, the way people give paints a bad rap, but also they've got this weird kind of perspective on them.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I tend to just use speed paints mainly these days, but I do paint a lot of club stuff, and I just need to get it done. But likewise, when I paint my Moonstone, I do use the Monument Hobbies, I do use Citadel, use speed paints again. I use all sorts. So
yeah,
so I'm living off speed paints at the moment. I haven't got any other Army Painter base paints no more. I used to have them years ago, but I haven't tried any of their war paints. So I have heard good things about their war paints.
Yeah, I mean they're black, and I use their gunmetal.
Yeah,
religiously for silver now, and it gives a really, really good finish.
So I might have to look at that. A game sector or something, and
gunmetal is this one.
Yeah,
it's a really good silver.
War paint gunmetal. Yeah, I might have to have a look at that.
Really, really good. The other one I like is this, but I use this in a specific way. Bright gold.
Okay.
I mix this in with Retributor.
Okay.
And it just brightens up the Retributor, and I really, really like that. It just gives a real nice finish.
Nice. Oh wow.
So there's a little tip for you there.
That's pretty cool.
How's the shipbuilding going, Josh?
I'm almost on my second one now.
Which ones are you building first?
Oh, I don't know. The flyy ones.
The flying one.
These, which are the Imperial Navy ones, which I will tell you what they're called in a minute. They are the Lightning Fighter. Which is,
how big are they? Can you just put one up for us so I can?
I mean, next to a Space Marine, I suppose.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, it's the same size as a Space Marine, really. Maybe a little bit bigger, but height-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I thought they'll all be already pre-built. I don't think there'll be a lot of assembly in these.
Well, there we go. Aren't you? Haven't you been bamboozled?
That's not too bad.
Have you got a brew on, Josh?
I have. I've got my big live stream mug.
Oh, I've got a cup. My pal got me for Christmas.
Your little sausage. Yeah.
I got this weird latte thing at the moment. I didn't fancy a cup of tea today. Work's been horrendously busy at the moment. I can't. Yeah, it's just been wow. Yeah, so I've just been like, there's not enough caffeine in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
So Let's just get this guy's little head done.
Oh, another thing, Moonstone.
Yes.
I want to talk about Moonstone because why I can't do a live out about Moonstone.
Yeah.
But they sent me some goodies the other day.
Oh, what did you get?
For my demos.
Yeah.
So, if anyone's watching and is coming to club to play Moonstone tomorrow demo, you will get a lovely bag.
A what?
Lovely bag.
Oh, look at that.
And what do you get inside? That is the question. So you get a cool Moonstone sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, says Moonstone.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Ironically. You get a Moonstone art postcard. They are some different
that's
cards.
Nice. I like that.
And possibly my favourite thing. And he did send me an extra one that I am keeping that.
Yeah.
It's actual the map of Talbot, which is the Moonstone.
Oh, nice.
So, and everyone will get last but not least, the first ever Moonstone miniature.
Oh, what are they all the same, or is there a choice? Or
So there's a choice of two. There's Mr. Toodles.
Yeah.
Or there's Puff, who's like a fawn, the goat man. Both are part of the same faction. Yeah, so they've got.
That is cool. Now that is a good goodie bag.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I emailed him last week asking if he still does them. I did some before, and
Yeah.
you had to pay for them. It's not much, you know, but he sent them out for free this time, which was very nice of him.
Love it.
So, but yeah, it's yeah. So massive thanks to Tom and guys at Moonstone for sending the club somehow for our demos. Yeah.
Like I said, I always very much appreciate it when companies support, especially let's say like smaller channels or maybe lesser known ones.
Yeah.
It's so hard to kind of get people to notice you sometimes. So to receive stuff like that is just an absolute blessing.
Yeah. Once I've just dropped the gun. Carry on talking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were.
No, so I'm going on the floor for a sec.
Are you gone right now? Josh is gone. Everyone, what we can do is we can start. About is. Oh shit, he's back. People in chat wanted to start a rumor about you, Josh. I said no, you can't do that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you can start whatever rumor you like. But yeah, and I know you mean. I mean, you know, try and get support for the club. It's like, you know, running through a brick wall sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot of hoops just to kind of get a no. But you know, you have your wins, you have your losses. You know, you just have to,
Well, I had
one of those things.
A company called Archon. I think it's Archon Studios.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I think they do like Masters of the Universe, and they do a game called Heroes of Might and Magic, which was like one of my favorite PC games.
That's the one where you have to ride around. You had a little guy on a horse.
Yes.
And you had to do resources.
Yeah, that's it.
I've actually got it on an emulator on my laptop next to me.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I never had the game. I had a demo. We had a PC that my brother used to use for schoolwork sometimes, and we had a PC Gamer demo disc, and on it was Might and Magic. It was the
yeah, I loved it. Upset.
I think there was only one map you could do, but you could choose a couple of factions.
Yeah,
and I always liked putting it on really easy to see what you could like build and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I messaged him, reached out, and they actually responded. I mean, they sadly couldn't help, but it was just nice for them to respond, and you know, they said, "Oh, really sorry, I can't help you at this current time." You know.
Well, like rather a reply like that as opposed to no reply at all.
Exactly, and
is always my.
100%, and I get some companies aren't in positions to help, a little club
No,
out.
absolutely. It's not as easy.
But I just appreciate him responding, and so unfortunately we can't help you this time.
Yep.
Rather
You
than
go,
just
okay, fair enough. If there's any, I've had to do it. I've reached out to people and said, like, any chance you could, give me some products to show off my communities. And they've gone no, and you just email them back and say, well, look, thanks for applying. I really appreciate it. If there is a capacity to work with you in the future, would love to. Take care. All the best.
Yeah. Mm.
So, Arnold, take care, mate. I'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for stopping by. I was just about to do something on this. Oh yeah, his gun pouch. Okay.
And I don't expect everything for free for the club. You know what I mean? But obviously, because we're non-profitable, whatever money we can save, it's
a blessing.
And it promotes, gets people into their games, and
Well, that's it.
It's a good
word
way
of mouth is a very, very powerful tool. It's gaming clubs like this that I do feel that if I was in a position and I was like a board game manufacturer, I would support clubs because those are the ones that really are
Yeah. And sometimes you might send a game and you do a demo game and not many people are interested in our club, but that's okay. I think sometimes.
Yeah.
You've tried in that area,
You don't have to like everything.
No. It's like this game. I've never really been a massive like aircraft kind of guy, But it's always interested me, It's like, but I've never heard anyone at club talk about it or mention it.
It's like sometimes until it's there and it's in people's faces and you go, hey, you fancy trying this? That people go, oh, okay. And that's when they go, actually, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And you've almost not like forced it upon them, but it's the opportunity's been there to play that maybe if they wouldn't. I've done it many times. Like I'm a shit to try and watch movies with.
Yeah.
Like you literally just have to put it on.
Yeah.
And if I stop looking at my phone, chances are it's grabbed me. And that's where, but would I have sat there and put that on my own accord? Absolutely not.
Yeah. No, I completely get that. And, but yeah, I mean, I only really picked up because, I knew someone who was selling it cheap.
Hey, sounds like a good man.
So I thought, well, I'm getting it for a quite good price for the club, even if it's probably once or twice, it's probably got its use out of it,
Yeah. But also at the same time as well, it's sitting there, it's in the box, it's an opportunity for people to.
Yeah, if someone fancies in a year's time or really fancy playing Skies of Fire, I'd be like, oh, I'll bring the club next week. And
so,
okay.
So he just needs some silver and some grey. And I think we are done on this guy.
Nice. I've almost finished the Lightning Fighters. Anyway, got this last one to build.
He should really do his base. He needs to do his base. Let's paint some stuff on.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to build than I initially thought. So
yeah,
I thought all the parts. I thought, oh god, it's gonna like maybe build like a cockpit and everything in these. But
is there little pilots in there, or like how detailed are they?
I mean, they're quite detailed, but it's not like you can see the cockpit and pilots and that. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, for the scale, they're fairly detailed, really. Not sure how I'm going to paint them up yet. Never really painted aircraft stuff, so.
See, do you not find that quite like exciting and interesting, doing something you've never done before like that?
Yes and no.
Is it more like a daunting task, or is it like more of a worry?
It's more. I think it's more of a worry. I want to get it right. Is it?
There is no right way. It's a trick question.
It's talking about anxiety, really. Mental health week and that. It still plays on my anxiety. I've never painted a small little ship up before, and am I going to do a good job? Is it going to look? I'm not bothered about it. Does it look box up, but does it look like it's what it's meant to look like?
Yeah, it should be something.
Yeah. So,
which is quite an interesting. Now, obviously, we've been streaming together for I guess 3 years next month. I believe it is. I think it was.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah.
I think it's about June. And obviously, you put up a post on Instagram the other day that said about how you feel anxious before you go live.
Oh yeah, all the while.
So, because that's nothing that you've ever really said outright to me. We've spoken, and you've gone, "Oh, do you ever get a bit jittery before you go live?"
It's one of them though. I know it's my anxiety, so there's not a lot I can do about it. It's it's like when I run club. I'm always anxious about running club, but when I'm there, I'm fine. But
it's just almost like that initial kind of, oh God, are people going to show up, or is everything ready?
I know, 9 times out of 10 people do show up. So it's something what annoys me as well as
Yeah.
But I don't know how to deal with it, if that makes sense. Apart from the way I do.
if you get anxious about things, that's just you as a person, is it? I don't think it's necessarily a flaw to kind of be like something I need to get over. No, absolutely, you don't need to get over it. I just thought it was very kind of quite interesting actually to because I when we go live, I'm like show business, baby. And I probably have quite a very different outlook to it.
But I take a good half hour to prepare myself for the live. So when I'm in the little lobby before we go live now, I'm all right because I've prepared myself mentally.
Do you find that little lobby? Because sometimes, we didn't get a chance to do that much today, but normally, see what a lot of people don't know is when we go live, me and Josh, we get an invite and we have a little chat before we go live, and it's just me and him. So we have a little bit of a natter and stuff like that. Do you find that helps?
A little bit, yeah. I sort of prepared myself mentally. Like today, I've sort of made sure everything was on the table before I picked kids up from school. I knew where everything was. Then I come home, done a dinner. Then I sort of just played Overwatch on the PC and just sort of calmed my mind down. Just so I prepare. Sometimes I'll listen to music or something, but I couldn't just come straight from work and straight on live,
Because sometimes I rush home and I'm like, wash my hands, let's go live.
Yeah. See, I couldn't do that,
Really? See, that's I'm just kind of like, all right, it's almost like just something I do now, if you will. It's
And I know 9 times out of 10 the lives go really well, and I've always enjoyed them. But same with club, I know it's probably everything's gonna be right, and it's but yeah, it's always anxiety kicking in the background.
Yeah.
But
See, I've never really, it's down to the individual as well. I've never really.
I suppose I've had years in my youth, and where I was bullied a lot for not being good enough or being different or not welcome here. You know what I mean? So that still plays on my mind a lot sometimes.
Wow. See the effects it can have on people.
And I also think, oh, am I actually doing the right thing doing this club?
Don't be a sausage. The club's amazing.
I deep down, I know, and deep down, I know how many people have been affected by it and helped. Because I had a few messages the other day from one of my posts and that.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I know I've made the right decision, but sometimes
100%.
I just feel like I'm not doing enough to make it better.
Stop it, you sausage!
But that's just
Like
my
that.
anxiety, though. You know, it's also you're doing this, but could you be doing 10 times better? You know.
Yeah, but that's just you as a person wanting to be, you know, do the best for people, which in some people don't really always deserve that type of attitude. So really, you know.
Oh, 100%, you know, but I don't know. It's always been a part of me. I've always been a quite negative person about myself.
Negative Nelly, stop it.
But that's because when I was younger, you know, I used to get beat up for who I am. So trying to be myself online, you know, it's a massive step for me over the past couple of years. Trying to, you know, if you asked me about 5 years ago, oh, would you want to do some live streaming on YouTube or, you know, building models and painting and talking about stuff?
Yeah.
I would run a mile, you know.
Really?
Yeah, 100%, you know. I would,
wow.
You know, I mean, even if you look back at some of my earlier Instagram lives, you know, I was very timid and very nervous on them.
Yeah.
And I only lasted about half hour sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't have the confidence back then. Now I'm a bit more, you know, a bit more relaxed.
Wow.
I just prefer doing a live with someone now because it's a lot of pressure doing it on your own, I find.
I kind of like. I don't mind flying solo, but I do prefer, and I think like it's weird. I prefer having sort of you here because we've done this so long together now.
Oh,
so much, you know, like it's just I've got Josh in the background. It's like you know that kind of. So
yeah, because I was going to do it live last night on my own. Then I saw Penge say, "Oh, anyone want to do a live?" And I was like, "Oh, I was planning, you know, I'll join you because."
Yeah.
You know, I thought, well, there's no point me doing it on my own and feeling anxious and turn it off in about half
an hour. Yeah, if you don't want to, then absolutely. Yeah. Now, this guy needs to be about.
Yeah, mental health can play funny tricks on you like that. But I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Now I'm sort of at a point in my life where I'm a bit more
comfortable, and so you should be. Everyone's cool in their own way. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise.
Also, I do still get very anxious beforehand and off camera.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the Games Expo. If anyone's at Games Expo on a Saturday or Sunday, you know, do come say hi to me. I'll probably be a bit shy because I do get quite overwhelmed in places like that sometimes. But I will say hello to you. But yeah, I always enjoy talking to people. It's just sometimes in them situations I can get a bit.
I love chatting to people in the hobby. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. I really do. Once again, I've made some fantastic friends. If I didn't do the hobby, I would never have met you. You know.
Well, you know, and I'm sort of the same. You know.
It's I do like. I guess one thing I've not that I'm shy with doing it, but I know I'm a very private individual.
Yeah.
So I kind of like maybe don't reach out to people as I always think if someone wants to speak to me that they'll talk to me.
Yeah.
As opposed to you know, are people sitting there going, I'd really like it if he reached out to me. I've just never been like that. I'm just, like, it's just like me rocking up to a stranger in the street going, hello.
Yeah.
And just starting talking at them. And I just imagine that's a bit weird. So I tend to, I guess, conduct myself that way.
I mean, I know some of the quite big influencers are going to Games Expo.
Yeah.
But if I see him, I don't think I'll approach him because I don't know. I always find it a bit. They're there to enjoy themselves. No, I don't know. I find it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really buy into all that. I did. Did you see the drama? Did you see the drama, Josh?
I don't know.
with Midwinter Minis. Did you see the drama?
Oh, you was on about it last night about Bolt Action, was it?
Yeah, he basically said he once a month he's doing these like
non-GW games.
Yeah, type things, which is cool. But he's gone on to Bolt Action, and he's basically said, if you play Germans, you're probably likely to be a Nazi.
Well, that'll make me one then, because I love the German military, and that sounds really bad. But
the funniest thing was he started off going, it's all fun and games until someone has to play the Nazis. Okay, fine, if that's the tone you want to set for your video, whatever.
Yeah, but you're not playing the Nazis, you're playing the German army.
You're not, you're playing a fucking board game, let's be honest. But also, like, the other thing that really made me chuckle is halfway through, his sponsor was like World of Battleships or something, where you can play as German boats. And it was like, for 2 minutes in the middle of this video, you're stopping to talk about this game and how good it is because they've given you money and sponsored you. But then you go back to like basically trashing a game because if you play them, it's like, but if you play, the Japanese, let's talk about fucking Pearl Harbor. If you want to talk about the Americans, let's talk about Hiroshima. There's so many things in there that people have done. And the thing is with board games is it's all a matter of perspective, really. When I sit there and I put my army on the table, no matter what I play, we're the good guys.
Yeah. Do you stop playing the Russians in Bold Action because what's happening in Ukraine now?
Well, this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that are a little bit, and it just felt like it was almost like a video that was made to get a reaction out of people, that was made to be controversial. And I don't know, I'm not up for all that type of stuff. I think that was quite a bad.
I mean, I personally find the German military uniform better than any of the others.
The German equipment that was used, especially during World War II, is for all right, the purposes of a war machine, okay, but it's pretty fascinating the stuff they came up with.
There's so many. I wouldn't say awesome stories, but cool stories to listen to about like the German Panzer divisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm a massive Sabton fan who sing about history, so. And a lot of them are like German sort of style. But does that make me a Nazi? Not really.
It's an odd thing to come out with, isn't it? It's an odd thing to kind of make. I was pretty surprised at how kind of like low that hit and a video had been made around it. That's just me. But maybe I probably wouldn't have bothered making a video about that topic if I couldn't look past it, because I don't think it's particularly engaging or relevant to the war game itself. So
no, because it's historical, isn't it? I mean, if you was allowed to play the SAS and like of the Hitler's elite, then that's a different story. They did want to be the Nazis, you know what I mean, and that, but just to say you're playing Germans is a bit.
But do you remember the
we were no angels in the war, was we?
Do you remember the AK Interactive thing that when they released that art book and it had like dioramas of concentration camps in there? Do you remember that?
No.
Wow, yeah, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
But let's put if you saw that in a museum, would you back an eyelid?
Well, see, this is the thing.
You know what I mean?
If you're wanting to make historically accurate things, fine. But I think there's tasteful ways of doing it, and I think a lot of people, when they dive in with this, almost like accusing people of being something because they are fascinated by something.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit wrong because it's all miniature wargaming.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a diorama concentration camp for a display in a museum, and fair enough, but if you're just doing it for the fun of it, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's because you like or are an enthusiast for those type of things, and I would say probably seek help.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I don't know how to feel.
But then, could you say that about some of the Warhammer? You know, like the corpse grinders, and you know what I mean?
I mean, really, you can apply it to anything, can't you?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
do you like Khorne because you like killing?
Yeah, you know.
Are you a blood enthusiast? You know, it's very. I guess sometimes when the narrative suits, people are happy to kind of go down that road.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was, you know, I was just very surprised by it and to hear about it. And
Yeah, I mean, you know, if someone, you know, if I start playing Bolt Action, I probably would play Germans because I do prefer the uniforms and tanks and stuff, you know. But I wouldn't care what people thought, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, it's a game at the end of the day, isn't it? You're just,
exactly,
who
you
am
know,
I against?
the end of the day, it's just plastic soldiers against plastic soldiers, isn't it? Just painted.
That's exactly it. You're
different
more
colours.
looking at your opponent, thinking, right, what am I playing against? Opposed to, you know, or who am I playing against? Not what, I suppose.
You could say anyone who plays Death Corps Creed loves Nazis because they are the German stormtrooper style.
Well, they effectively are, aren't they? You know, so
You know, so
it's a
you know,
bit. I don't know. Bit of
you
a
can't.
odd area there. So
Yeah, I don't.
but
Probably
love a bit of drama.
so.
God bless it. Keeps me going. Sustains me. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I don't take much notice of stuff like that. It's
No, me neither. But I did hear about it this morning. There was a bit of an uproar. People have done some reaction videos to it, calling him out. You know, and I just thought it was a bit odd, if I'm completely honest with you. So
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't watch much of his videos anyway, so
no,
I
me
know
neither.
a few people really rate him. So you know, I have watched one or two, and they've been alright. You know, I wouldn't be screaming if I saw him. You know, asking for his autograph or whatever. But you know, unless he wanted mine, but which I highly doubt. But you know, yeah, no, I wouldn't be too that bothered really because yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's just
very, very much so. So I need to do the base on this guy. I think this is going to take a little while to do. I do have, and I can show you because I have it, my next little guy that I think I'll do. Now, I actually forgot I had this guy. I bought him when he came out, and I was looking through the Dark Angels Codex, and you can get a Chaplain guy in Terminator armor.
okay.
So I think if I do pick up some of the new Terminator squads, I think I'll probably use this guy.
That Chaplain guy's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy, isn't he? I thought he was quite nice. So I think I might paint him up next and add him, which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah.
Terminator Chaplain Tarentus. Let's have a look at it quickly. I can't do much else for the minute, if I'm honest with you. So he does have a sculpted base, which is a little bit annoying, and his foot's part of it. So I either fuck the base by clipping it away, or I just run with it, which I think I'll do.
Yeah.
But he goes together really easily. And once again, I pointed this out in my Stormcast video, these are rounded sprues, so these actually should just pop out.
The REM ones, yeah.
However, I don't know how I feel about popping out some of these parts.
Well, in the Warhammer Alliance box we've been sent, they have popped out, and I'm looking at some of them thinking that could easily break if that.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about popping mine out, but he's the guy that I'm going to paint up next. I might do a little unboxing video of him. I guess he's a bit of a rare one. I don't know if this is much point because you can't get him anymore anyway. So there's no point me doing a video on it because, well, you can't get it. So what's the point?
Suppose nostalgia wise, maybe. I don't know. Do it.
But I do think I think one of my favourite miniatures I have painted this year is the Chaplain. I really like this guy. I've wanted one of these for ages, and I'm really happy with how this guy turned out with his kind of green tinged armor.
It's always nice when you've got that model where you're really proud of, you know.
Don't get me wrong. I'm proud of all my models that I paint, but I just really enjoyed doing that one.
Yeah,
like, a lot. I really enjoy doing him. So
that's okay, isn't it? You know,
I wish they did boxes of watches.
Yeah,
That's my other thing. I wish they did little packs of the little watches and stuff like that, just to go with your armies. I think that would be great. Themed basing material. I've always said this. Dark Angels themed basing material. It would sell like hotcakes.
but you can get like the geek scenic stuff, can't you? Which is pretty much got that marker.
No, but I meant like proper plastic bits with some of the iconography on that you
Oh
could
right,
your
yeah,
army
sorry,
and
yeah, I
stuff like
know.
that.
Yeah,
Like the Terminator captain guy in the Leviathan box. Love it, but he's standing on a Tyranid.
Yeah.
Now it's going to look quite odd if he's the only guy in my army who's standing on a Tyranid. I've got very plain bases, so I either remove the Tyranid.
Yeah.
Or why don't they do a box of basing bits and just accessories that can go on miniatures, just generic bits of carapace and stuff like that you can just stick on miniatures. So in actual fact, you can theme it for a Tyrannic Crusade force. Or I think that would be great.
Yeah. So, know where you're coming from with that. But then, likewise, how many 3D printed stuff there is? What you could do that with?
That's the other thing. But don't you think they're missing a market there if people are just going to turn to that?
Yeah, maybe they should do like 3D print STL files for bases. You know what I mean?
You'd gain good favour with the community.
But, I mean, Manta Games are starting to do print and play now.
Now, the only thing that although it says once you buy it, you're not to share it, how many people do you think are really not going to do that?
Well, no, I suppose this is...
That's the problem is you can't control it, and therefore you miss out on sales.
Yeah, that's the only downside, isn't it?
Is it going to be as lucrative? But also, a lot of people, don't have access to 3D printers. I don't. I rely on you to print me stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, I'm going to start that house the weekend for you, by the way.
Nice one. Yeah, no rush.
I found some resin on Amazon, which is a lot cheaper than what I normally buy, but the reviews have been really good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna experiment, but it's meant to be really solid resin as well. So
okay, cool.
I thought
no rush for it. Just whenever
you're would be quite a good thing to test out. But
okay, so that's the only other one I've got to do there. In actual fact, I can neaten this up a bit.
Yeah, it's But no, I think Mantic doing the print and play is a good idea in a sense.
Oh, I think it is great, but obviously, I think from a business point of view, the only downfall for 3D printing is how do you regulate it?
Well, yeah, that's the only downside, isn't it?
And that's probably why GW hasn't gone into that side of things, because obviously they'd be turning in their grave knowing they've missed out on revenue.
Yeah. But maybe they will in a couple of years' time. Maybe they think.
Like, is there a way to make a file that can only be used once? But then what happens if your printer messes up and you lose out on that file? Do you get an opportunity to do it again? Like, is there a way of limited to one print per person?
Again, the problem is because you have to import that file when you've on a USB stick, then plug in your printer.
Mm.
You can't really just have a one-time print.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Because they can't do that, what's to say that it just isn't going to be made available somewhere or be shared around? And I think that's where the 3D print hasn't come into its own as much as maybe it probably could have.
Oh, and completely get that. Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe doing the basic materials now will be quite good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it would just gain good favour. Community.
Could their cost down because they wouldn't have to print a master mold and
No, yeah, it'd just be made available, and you could theme your stuff, and they could do little like monthly things that people could just print out, and it would be great. But
maybe like do it for Warhammer Plus subscribers as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to sign up to that.
Or they do a subscription service model for this printing stuff, in which case, if they do lose out on money, they'll get your money next month. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a bit of an odd one. It's definitely something that needs poking around, I think. But who knows? Who knows? Right, Josh, I'm going to call it there because I'm actually literally stuck for things to do between this drying and and that's it. And we've done our hour with an hour and 10. We've been coming up to now, so we're nearly there. But it has been lovely spending the evening with you, as always.
Yes, always good.
We should be back next Thursday as well.
Yeah, should be. Yeah, don't seem to have any plans, so I don't think
we should be back around about a similar time. So yeah, thanks to everyone that did stop in.
And I might more than likely be live on Instagram on Wednesday or someday next week.
So if you are on Instagram, do head over to Free Spires Gaming Group and say hi to Josh. I'll be in the chat. I always tend to pop into the chat, even if I can't stay for the full time. I always try and pop in.
Yes, I did see you pop in yesterday.
I had you on for quite a while, but I was playing. I was playing Zelda. So I kind of just had you propped up on my pillow. Next to me, and I was just zoning in and out, stuff like that. So, which was quite funny.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was funny to hear Penge rant how his internet was being slow, and it did chuckle quite a bit. So
yeah.
Right, Josh, I'm going to love you and leave you.
Yeah.
Once again, thanks to everyone. I think there's probably a new video coming out on the channel on Saturday. If not, it'll be Sunday morning. Should be a good one. It's an unboxing. It's a fun one. Hey, like this. Like being fun.
This way you got the Leviathan unboxing.
Can you imagine if I'm just like, yeah, I've got this, but no, I haven't.
No. Spoiler.
There we go. So right, I will catch you all later. God bless and take care. Give everyone a wave, Josh.
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's all.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later.